It's the National Football League on EA Sports.
And we'll see Baker Mayfield.
He's going to have to air it out plenty this week. It's the Black Knights and the River Hogs. Next on Madden Football.
This is the NFL on EA Sports, and we are thrilled to once again return to the gateway to the West, the proud city of St. Louis, Missouri. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you take a look at our home side as we enter play here. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for the visitors, Louisville, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to... Three-quarters of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And they'll be led out by their quarterback now in his 3rd season in the league.
And the guys on the other side of the ball know they'll have to be on their toes. And it's obviously not just the passing, but the running element that makes him dangerous. He ran for over 100 yards in that game last week, so keeping him contained will be a big emphasis for this defense.
First carry of the game now for the Texas superstar, Bijan Robinson. Up past the 30, second down coming up. The numbers in last week's ball game for Robinson: 17 carries, 64 yards.
I have to say, partner, their coaches didn't do a very good job of hiding their thoughts this week when they spoke with us, did they? They told us exactly this. We've been good on the ground, but sitting 8th in the league, we know we can kick it up a notch and push for the top 5. So there's no doubt in my mind, we'll see them try to establish that ground game early and try and pick up an early lead.
Well, now after all of this, hang on here because he appears to be shaken up. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. An early test, 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2. They'll try and run for it with Hill. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. An effective 7-yard 3rd down conversion. First down, and it's Hill again. And he's going to bowl his way forward to the 48. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Here's Pickett. This one complete to Jalen Waddle. 7 yards there and a first down. Pickett, he'll look to throw it. This is Fant on the short completion. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Back to the ground, it's Hill. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. Pickett back to throw. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
That's the first time he's called his own number, but he's got to be overjoyed with the results. He wasn't just going to settle for a modest gain. To me, he was determined to come through with a big message to a defense that slept on him in the pocket.
And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down. Well, this defense very strong in that victory from a week ago.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield. Also made it hard for him to escape the pocket and run.
It's been a pretty long opening drive. This will be play number 11 coming up on 3rd down. Pickett will look to throw it here. They set up the screen to Hill. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. They pick up 12 on the play, and the chains move.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially those pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
Now a first down carry. It's Hill. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. A gain of 3, second down.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. Really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing it to open up.
So they'll go ahead and accept the penalty. Here's Hill again on second down.
He'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3.
And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. Pickett.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it.
Bad place to fumble down here in the red zone. At least they got it. They'll have another shot. Or no, they won't have another shot. It's going to be 4th down. Maybe they can at least salvage 3.
And they were thinking 6 points, because at this position of the field, it's go time, right? You take your shots at the end zone. They weren't able to do that one. So you look over at the sideline, there's the head coach saying, oh, heck, kick it, field goal time.
The kick by Lutz is good. And the opening drive of the game yields 3. Able to move the before.
You can look at it and feel pretty good about the whole thing and think, okay, on the flip side, if you're a fan, it's almost like, whew, we only gave up 3. They moved the ball on us pretty well.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here with the 30-yard line.
This offense take over for the first time. They will be led out by the Heisman Trophy winner from 2018 from Oklahoma, Baker Mayfield.
And for how good he is throwing the ball, it's his running that makes him so dangerous. He had a couple of touchdowns on the ground in last week's game, so we'll see what they dial up for him for this one.
Mayfield looks to throw.
That's going to be caught downfield by Hill.
And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. A really nice gain of 25 yards. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. The first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. And a good burst there right from the start as he'll get this one out near the 35. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Mayfield now. To the right side and complete to Thomas. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Looking out of the gun, Mayfield. On the tuck and run.
This early in the game, it's all about making steady progress downfield, hoping to lead to early points. And you can do it with your actual play calls or sometimes something a little more improvised, as we just saw there.
Mayfield. To the right side, it's Kelsey. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20.
Here now, 2nd and 4.
They'll pound it up the middle with Kamara. He will push his way down to about the 14. They got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more. Now Mayfield. That is caught. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage.
Now we're going to get a timeout as they deal with an injured player. It's Tyreek Hill, who is the man that's in some discomfort right now. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside.
Try to pound it in, Kamara. And he's going to battle his way down around the 2-yard line. It's a good pickup of 7 yards, and now they're looking at 2nd and goal.
Again, Kamara.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown.
Alvin Kamara, his 5th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Black Knights have answered that early field goal to take a first-quarter lead. Well, first quarter, maybe too early to talk about statement drives, Charles, but that sure seemed like a statement drive right there.
Well, if we're going to talk about statement drives, I think what they're saying is we're going to step from early and often on this trip, and he wound up taking it into the end zone.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
They will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30. The River Hogs offense and their quarterback coming out for their 2nd drive. And he's been a real threat in the red zone and beyond. As you take a look at the NFL leaders in rushing touchdowns by a QB, you'll notice he's worked his way into the top 5 at this point in the season.
They start the drive on the ground with Hill. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here, and what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
8 yards that time, able to take off, and the result is a first down.
And that's an early scramble that can be viewed positively by either side. From the offensive point of view, it begins to establish it as a possibility to keep it on certain plays. And defensively, they avoided giving up a huge play in one of their first tests in containing a quarterback on the run.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
When you look at this defense,
they're just below the cut line for top half of the league, 17th in the NFL against the run.
One thing players always tell us is that they never really pay attention to numbers. I don't believe them for a second. They know where they rank, okay? They're not quite at the top, but they're far from the bottom. But let's face it, up. In order to do that, they've got to look at each other and make sure everyone's taking care of their assignments to play the run better. And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
After 1, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Ready for the 2nd quarter, and it's our visitors with the football. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. As they've got it as we resume action. They'll go with Hill here on 1st down. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
now they sweep, but instead a run up the middle here.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
42 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Dancing to his left. And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a halt. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at 2nd down. He's got his big tight end, Fant. And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds. That one good for 17 yards, and now they've got it 1st and goal.
You don't always expect tight ends to be big in terms of run after the catch, but after that play, he joins a growing band of players that's putting that stereotype right on its ear.
And they'll send the tight end in motion here. And that flag accepted. The delay of game, a costly one, as they're backed up 5 for 1st and goal. Moore, the man in motion. And they're going to give it to him on the jet sweep. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line.
Let's just make this one succinct. Nice job there. All 11 guys on defense diagnosing the jet sweep and putting it down.
And they'll accept that penalty. Can't afford another delay here as they come up again on 2nd and goal. Now Pickett. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. Looking to throw. Pickett. In trouble. He'll down back at the 12. A nightmare on 3rd and goal. He's sacked, and multiple players broke through the line to get him. Now Lutz for the field goal try. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. The kick by Lutz is good. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. So the margin shrinks there as they get the field goal to draw them a bit closer here in this 2nd quarter.
Yeah, nice snap, nice hole. They just want to keep this game close, so give them credit for finishing that one off with 3.
A decent return at the 27-yard line. The Black Knights, led by their running back, headed out for the possession. We get a look at the league leaders in receiving touchdowns by a running back, and he sets the pace here in the latter stages of the season. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass, defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a beat on you, maybe you mix it up a little bit with play action and throw the ball.
And will they maintain that balance? Time to find out. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They run it again with Kamara. They'll take it past the 40-41, 2nd down.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
His first catch, good for 9 and a 1st down. From the gun, it's a run for Kamara. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Kamara up the middle. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. Able to get the 1 yard he needed, but nothing more. Mayfield to throw it. He'll get this one to Kelsey. That's complete. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets inside the 10 to the 7. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
Despite writing it down on my notes, I never give enough credit to the offensive line, and we have to here. The protection, that's what made this play a success. The quarterback had to wait for the crossing route to develop, and that takes a little bit of extra time. Excellent job by the big fellas up front.
A 10th carry for Kamara. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. 5 yards, a good run there, and now 2nd and goal. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. And it's caught. Touchdown. Reed, his 4th touchdown of the year. And they are able to add on to their advantage. And down near the goal line here, they're able to throw it in.
And the key word, quick. Quick hitter. Out of his hands fast, into the receiver's hands even faster.
Now Moody for the PAT.
And it's up. It's good. Our score, 14-6. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all.
And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. The visitors' offense had Kenny Pickett headed back onto the field. And this defense has got to be searching for answers right now. It's been his ability to make plays on the ground here in this first half that's really giving him fits.
They'll start the drive with Hill. And he's going to get about 7 yards. That one up to around the 33.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
Sometimes in the run game, you can make the argument that quickness beats size. And how about the example right here?
Back to throw, Pickett.
Pressure comes and down he goes. They get him that time thanks to the safety blitz as he sank for a loss of 4.
These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles. And that front 7 defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance. They've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker.
36 yards on the punt with no return.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
Mayfield. His man complete. It's midfield down to the 45. And a nice gain at 21 yards.
That's a nice throw there. He's obviously feeling pretty good because remember, he had a down pass on the last drive, and here he comes out throwing again, and they wind up getting good yardage and a 1st down right out of the gate.
To throw, Mayfield. Forced out to his left. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down. Throwing Mayfield. Inside 25. 16.
So many times I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch,
and he will take it in for the touchdown. Travis Kelce, his 1st touchdown on the year.
And the Black Knights have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. So, Charles, that's 3 touchdowns on 3 drives, and it's just been an offensive barrage so far.
great word, partner, using barrage right there. I'm going to add another word if you don't mind. How about perfection? No surprise that they're leading right now. Absolute dominance throughout this ball game and no signs of slowing down.
Moody good for the extra point. And the lead is up to 15 now. A drive of just 4 plays. And it culminates in a Travis Kelce touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Well, now how about this return? And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. And now it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. We've got a man shaken up. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Start the drive. Pickett. He'll let this go deep for Waddle. That's caught inside the 20. And he gets into the end zone for the touchdown. Jalen Waddle, 66 yards. And the River Hogs are able to strike quick here as they are for 6. And there, Charles, he lined up out left, ran post, caught it over the middle, and the rest, as they say, is history.
And you have to love the scheme that they just showed there, because if you're going to run a deep post, you ordinarily have to get a safety out of the middle of the field. And you do it one of 2 ways, either by running routes at him that carries him away from it, or you either freeze him in the middle, routes that run underneath, you get depth. Then you throw it over the top, and boy, what a successful play that was.
Lutz good on the extra point, and that'll cut the lead 21-17. More now following the touchdown to kick. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Back out comes this offense now, leading this first half. And just inside of a minute left, Charles, they got a pretty long field ahead of them. I'm curious to see how they play this, but you would think definitely enough time to at least try to get 3 out of this.
Yeah, you want to move with a nice sense of pace. You want to up the tempo a little bit, but you have to do it with some poise as well. You don't want to go so fast that you hurry yourself into mistakes. There's enough time to put points on the board if they do it right.
And even though they have the lead, you know that they would love to extend this lead in the locker room.
Able to get it up past the 45. Back to throw now on first down. Eluding the pressure right. Now Mayfield lost the football. This ball recovered by the offense, but remember, they cannot advance it here in the final 2 minutes of the half. So this will be blown dead, and it'll come back to the spot of the fumble. And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble.
Looking long for Thomas. And it's caught. Touchdown. Michael Thomas. 42 yards.
And the Black Knights will extend their lead in the of the half.
That's an important score right there because they gave themselves a 2-score cushion heading towards halftime. Now you got to force the other team out of their comfort zone, and it changes the way you approach the second half as well. How you want to do things on offense, and your defense feels much better too, having that lead.
Moody good with the extra point, and the lead is up to 15 now. So that drive, 4 plays.
And it's Michael Thomas who ends it with a touchdown reception.
The kickoff unit is on the field, and they will send this one away.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The River Hogs offense and receiver Jalen Waddle getting set for this next possession. And it may be time for this defense to start throwing a second defender his way, because whatever they've done, it has not worked in this first half.
Well, indeed, around to run that clock. It's up the field here.
And an anxious moment or two there, but they do get him down.
Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. Flushed out right. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. It'll be spotted on the right hash. A 52-yard attempt. The kick by Lutz is good, and that will do it for this first half. So we come upon halftime in what's a 12-point game at the break. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you two in a bit. For now, plenty of early game action around the NFL to get you caught up on, so let's get to it. And then lastly, on Monday Night Football, those fans will be riled up as it'll be a good matchup between their guys and what equates to be a very tough opponent. We saw a strong first half out of the former Heisman Trophy winner, Baker Mayfield. He lit up the skies with 3 first-half touchdown passes as his guys were rolling in the early part of this football game. We saw a couple of high-octane offenses getting it done in the first half. Both teams had no problems moving the football. And you'd have to think, the team whose defense shows up in the second half is going to be the one who walks out of here with a victory.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. And this offense ready to go in this third quarter. And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in this second half?
Well, I like what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think more of that. But I'd keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see 1 or 2 guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be licensed to take some shots downfield.
Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble. On first down, he'll drop to throw. Gets this one to Hill. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a second and about a foot. Now a handoff. Here's Kamara. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40.
57 yards rushing for him here as he starts to close in now on 1,200 yards for the season.
Staying on the ground on first with Kamara.
On a nice burst there as he'll take this inside the 30 to the 28-yard line.
12 yards as they get to reset the sticks. Again, it's Kamara. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage.
Now a 2nd and 10.
They'll run out of the gun with Kamara.
Oh, fine work there as he gets this thing to the 11-yard line.
It's a pickup of 17 and a first down. He finds his way into the secondary again on this drive. They might want to try getting him down a little closer to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, what do they call that? 3rd level run. 1st level being the D-line and linebacker. 2nd level in the secondary. The 3rd. When you block it up well and you make the secondary do all the tackling, that will wear on a defense.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. A man who's been busy this afternoon. It's Kamara again. And he'll get about 4 there as he takes it from the 10 down to the 6.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
And he will take this one in for a touchdown. Baker Mayfield A 6-yard touchdown run.
And the Black Knights take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return.
And now it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. We've got a man shaken up.
Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive.
Off the play fake, here's Pickett. And that's going to be caught downfield by Fant. And he'll be touched down in the end, but a big play on that one. Here's Pickett.
It's complete to Robinson. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. Second down. That ground game contained again there, Charles, and that's really a big reason for trailing right now.
They give a lot of credit to that defensive front. That's exactly what they worked for all week, to try and take away the run game, make them one-dimensional. In the battle of game plans, theirs has been superior.
No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a third down.
Pickett, he'll look to throw it.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
Sheldon Rankins in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
Here's Thomas Morstead now as he'll kick it away for the second time.
And they won't risk defending a return here. That one's out of bounds, and it'll be spotted at the 14-yard line. The Black Knights offense and Baker Mayfield set to take over once more. And he's been a nightmare to scheme against throughout this one. This defense has been totally taken apart, and that is borne out in his numbers. He's been terrific all game long. It was T.J. Edwards who brought him down.
Look, all any running back wants is a little bit of room, a little bit of space in order to maneuver. But he also understands how difficult it is for his offensive line up front. So if they give him any space, he realizes his job to make more out of it than what they give him. Picks up 3 on that carry.
Flag comes out, and that's because the offense did not get the play off in time.
And you can see the head coach, he is not happy. Everyone getting away from him right now because he's frustrated that they didn't get the ball snapped in time.
He'll look to throw. Short throw hauled in by Kelsey. Without the previous penalty, that would have been a first down. Instead, it's just a gain of 10.
3rd and 2.
Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And I don't think Kamara got there. Looks like they stopped him short. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game against them, but tally that one on the side of the defense.
Do you think maybe, possibly, it can be a little bit of a changer for them? Maybe not a game changer, but a little bit of a momentum one that maybe they can string together some pretty good plays and slow them down.
On is the punter Scott here as he gets this one away.
Returnable here for Davis. That'll be a 47-yard punt, officially 5 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over.
The visitors' offense and running back Bijan Robinson set to take over once more. And he continues to be a nuisance for opposing defenses that are tasked with trying to slow him down. He's currently second in the NFL in rushing.
They begin the drive with Robinson. Now the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Buying time to his left. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. 5 yards on the scramble, and that's enough to pick up the first.
Robinson up the middle. And a good run here as he'll rumble all the way down to the 40-yard line. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. The medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. Back to Robinson now on first down. They'll get this down to the 38.
So there you go, holding by the offense, and that'll push him back.
Changes everything now as you try and figure out what your playbook has for you. Longer yardage situations, tougher to execute and pick up first downs.
And he gets it down to the 32.
45 yards rushing for him now to this point. From the 32-yard line now, here's 2nd and 3. They run the play fake. Here's Pickett.
He'll let this go for the end zone. And it's knocked away and incomplete. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his second incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit. A lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on third down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
The kick by Lutz is good, and that'll get the deficit back to 16.
So that maybe not exactly what they were hoping for, but it does get them back within a couple of scores.
And at this point in the third quarter, you don't have much margin for error, and that means you can't have drives that end with nothing. Whether it's a punt, a turnover on downs, those have to go away. You have to end with a kick, either a field goal or an extra point after a touchdown.
The home team's offense and the veteran Alvin Kamara getting set for this next possession. And as you take a look at the numbers, you have to imagine he was the topic of the halftime talk for this defense. We've got to find a way to slow him down. That's probably what they're saying, but nothing that they have done has worked so far.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
From the gun, Mayfield. Throw left side complete. That's Thomas. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 15 yards through the air and a first down. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports, as we are just about set to go here in quarter number 4.
In motion right goes Reed. And they'll fake the jet sweep there and instead hand to Kamara. On a nice burst there as he'll take this inside the 30 to the 28-yard line.
Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, He's the guy they've turned to, and it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere.
2nd and 10.
They'll pound it up the middle with Kamara.
And he'll work free from one tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down.
After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. On 3rd down, here's Kamara. Well, the stiff arm created some space initially, but he's taken down not long after. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Jake Moody now on for the field goal.
This to make it a 3-score game late. And his kick is right there. It's good.
So after 5 touchdowns offensively, hey, maybe it's time to get the kicker a little work, and he's able to connect there.
I love that empathetic side of you. You're worried about him getting some action, getting to be a part of the game. Well, he got in and got it done.
And able to get this out to the 25. Well, the Louisville offense back out now. And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive.
Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
Pickett slides down, and he picks up the first.
It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
This is where the NFL is headed year by year, partner. A league where just about everyone has someone under center who can get you with their legs as well as their arm. And we've certainly had a nice display of that from both QBs in this game. And that continued with that.
And he works free.
And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
A good pickup there, 21 yards.
A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad.
And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds.
From the 31, here's 2nd and a couple. Pickett will look to throw it here.
This is Fant on the short completion. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped.
Now a stoppage, and we've got Chubb shaken up on the play. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. Straight ahead, it's Robinson.
And able to fight forward inside the 15 to the 13.
52 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. 2nd down and 3. Robinson with another carry.
And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up 1st and goal.
So a decent deficit at this stage in the second half. 4-down territory?
No doubt about it. There's not a chance that he hasn't looked ahead and said, okay, if we gain yardage on this play, this is what we'll do going forward. If we lose yardage, this is the play call that I'll have ready.
That gets him 3 yards closer here as it brings up 2nd and goal.
Robinson is in for a touchdown. So a little bit of a letdown there defensively. I mean, look, you're still 2 scores to the good, CD, but things may be a little more uncomfortable than they had hoped.
Yeah, if you'd kept him out of the end zone there, this game's over. You've locked the door on him. Instead, it's still open a little bit, and they've got a puncher's chance.
Lutz with the extra point, and they're able to cut this deficit down to 12. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The home team's offense and their running back getting set for this next possession. And it's hard to believe you could run the ball a whole lot better than he has. The vision, the cutback ability, the acceleration, it's all been on display throughout. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Kamara gets it again on 2nd down.
And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
And this offense on 3rd down today, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Kamara up the middle.
And down he goes, but the stiff arm utilized effectively there, and it helps him move the sticks.
They're able to convert with a gain of 4. A give. This is Kamara. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. They go play action. Mayfield. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Samson Ebukam just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7. We've seen him escape similar situations earlier in the game and get away for pretty good yardage. At that time, they get him down.
Yeah, they've had enough evidence that he can get away and run for good yardage, haven't they? That time it felt like, okay, enough of this. Let's play it the right way and get him on the ground before he does any damage.
And he'll even avoid the contact in the end as he will finally slide to a halt. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a 1st down.
Now that's a killer because you think you've got it absolutely covered, and then he hot-foots it out of there and picks up a 1st down. Drives you crazy as a defense.
Looked like, you're exactly right. Looked like a for sure stop on 3rd, and then the tables turned. From the gun, it's a run for Kamara. And he gets stopped up at the 31 after a gain of maybe a yard.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Well, this drive, they're 2 for 2 on 3rd down conversions, but they need 7 yards here. Mayfield looks to throw. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. So it's our home team here in possession of the football as we come back. They've got a 4th down here in a game that looks to have been decided already. And his kick here is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
Hill shedding the tackle. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The visitors' offense and their wide receiver getting set for this next possession. And he's looking to finish strong. He has been the star of the show as they have just had absolutely no answers for him defensively. Looking to throw here. Pickett. Gets this to Fant.
Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30.
Well, this game has certainly had no shortage of offense. Both teams have been revved up from the start. And here's yet another big play. Boy, both defenses have just got to be dragging out there because they've been run ragged throughout.
And out of bounds right around the 20.
For as many sacks as this defense has, you can understand their willingness to try and get upfield and get another. So what a really smart play call here to use their aggression against them, go with the screen, and they're able to get the first down.
Over the middle, complete. It's Moore. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it.
Ball resting on the 20. This is 2nd and 10.
Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone.
And that will be incomplete. Oh, he left that one in a bad spot, but fortunately it's just an incompletion and not picked to bring up 4th down. Pickett, 4th down, desperation time.
He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And this is caught. So it's a late touchdown, but maybe too late. Still a little time left on the clock, however. Okay, so they got the score. Do you go for one here and save the possible 2-point conversion?
And now remember, all touchdowns are reviewed. And in a tight game like this, they're going to take a good long look at it. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How's the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right.
Lutz good on the extra point as this gets them back within a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. So they'll line up for the onside kick. 18 seconds to go. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. The risk-reward of the onside kick, when you don't get it, the risk comes out to play, and here they gave up great field position.
And that's the key to everything, because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them. And field position leads you to that type of play calling, and whether you want to blitz or whether you want to throw the ball deep, those types of things. Now that they've given up that type of field position, the advantage is switched to their opponent.
Another run on 2nd down, trying to cover up.
And with inside of 10 seconds, 8 to be precise, we get whistles and a timeout on the field. They'll need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is 3rd down. They run it again with Kamara. And they'll get him down at the 34, and he's going to be short of the first by a few yards. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Here we go with Kamara. And he'll take this for a short gain on what will prove to be the final play of this ball game.
Here's 1st and 10. One final shot for Pickett.
He's going to let it fly. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over.
So no shortage of offense in this game, but a very clean game too, Charles. Each side got its points, but they did so without committing a single turnover.
That's so true, and it certainly felt like NFL football at its finest, right? You talk about the highest level from both of these offenses. Neither one of them afraid of taking risks, and both of them aggressively pushing it downfield. I did like, Brandon, how smart they were about going about their business, though. They were high flying, but they took care of the ball.
Yeah, they did. And just keeping it clean in a game like this with all these points, you don't see that very often, even at the highest level. Job well done by both sides.
So for the home team here, they pick up win number 4 on the campaign as they emerge victorious here. And they will hit the road next week. Meanwhile, for Louisville, they can ill afford to drop too many more as they fall to 7-6 on the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.